there's an alarming statistic out there in terms of black men and their rate in which they're enrolled into schools, right? So this all came about, like, even just like thinking about this, it came about because of a New York Times article, and they talk about Howard University and how right now there's like this stubborn. Yeah, so according to the New York Times, the article is titled "At Black Colleges, a Stubborn Gender Enrollment Gap Keeps Growing." Okay, so let's hear journalist, everybody, you might know him, you might have seen him before, Torre. You've seen him before, you might not always know his name, but he reacted to a part of this, and then we're gonna take some cliff notes of what he's saying and what's in the article, and we're gonna react to it as well. All right. So let me share the screen here. There we go. All right, here we go. It says black men are not attending college. That's just his basic caption, but it has to do with this article that I also read as well. So let's keep going. Oh, let me refresh that real quick, y'all. Here we go. Man, why did I do that? All right, here we go.
Black men are not attending college, and this is a horrendous trend. The number of black men at four-year colleges has plummeted, and at Howard University, there are as many non black students as there are black men. Howard is just 19% black men. There's an array of reasons why this is happening, but the number one thing sociologists point to is something they call the belief gap, that a lot of young black men don't believe that they can or should be able to handle college intellectually or financially. Guys, college is a critical part of gaining the intellectual skills you need to get into the middle class. Black women have known for years and years that they need degrees to overcome racism and misogyny and get as far as they can in life, and they have become the most educated demographic in the country. But leaving black men out of that trend means a lot of potential wealth that could go into the black community won't go into the black community, because people who could have become middle class professionals and intellectuals will not be able to make that leap. Apparently,
That's a real talk. That's real spill, right? So let's talk about the article and some of the things, and then I'll give my commentary. So yes, it says a staggering 19% of black. There's a staggering 19% of black enrollment, and this is down from when, like, back in 1976, it was already low, right? And this is Howard University. This is a HBCU. Now this is a more prestigious HBCU. This is one that costs you about $50,000 a year, which is on the high end. So like there's definitely factors to it, but still 19% of black there's only of the whole school population, only 19% are black men. And this is down from an already very low percentage of 38% of back in 1976. Now, back in 1976, it was pretty much like, so if it was 36% um black men, that means that, or was it 38%? It was, if it was 38% black men, probably for the, by and large, the other 62% was probably black women. Now, because these HBCUs, they struggle with getting black enrollment, right? They allow other cultures and other races to go to these HBCUs now. So they said that 19% of black men makes up the entire population of, like, not of non black students at this college, at this university. That's how many black men are, or there's probably more non-black students than there are black men at that particular institution. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So if you think about that, right? Like back in the day at 38%, it was like, if just say, like I said, the other 62% was women. We're looking at almost a 3-to-1 ratio when it comes to women to men at Howard, right? So like Bro, that would have been the ticket, right? That would have been the ticket. That would have been the selling point for me as a young boy back in the day. Like, yo, I could go to this university and we got, you know what I mean, it's 3 to 1. Women are 3 to 1 to men out there. So like just for that the social aspect, you'd be like, all right, yeah, it's definitely a lot of women there, right? Now, right, again, we can't, we don't know. I don't have the full statistic of how many black women are there, but that's 20% of black are black men, right? So we could be looking at a 5 to 1 ratio right here. You know what I'm saying? For every black man, there's five other people of any other type, whether it's a woman, whether they're another race, whatever. But like, yeah, we're outnumbered for sure. One in every five, right? Um, and one of the things in the article that it talked about, it says the decline has profound implications for economic mobility, family formation, and wealth generation. Raj Chetty, Harvard economist who uses large data sets to study economic opportunity, has found that the income gap between America's black and white populations is entirely driven by differences in men's economic circumstances, not women's, right? So basically what they're saying in that is like, yo, to bring families about, or to bring the statistics about, when you're talking about a population and we're talking about like a racial demographic, the men are the ones that kind of bring you out of that gap, or that deficit. It's not going to be the men. So that's even with white men, right? Like white men are the drivers of generational wealth. Black men have to be the drivers of black generational wealth, right? But you know what I mean, we'll see where that goes. It says the causes are many: higher college costs, the immediate financial needs of black families, high suspension rates in high school, and a barrage of negative messages about academic potential all play roles in the decline of black male enrollment and college completion. Howard estimates that its cost of attendance for undergraduates easily exceeds $50,000 a year. And then a last quote I got from here says, if you're serious about reducing race gaps in economic opportunity, household wealth, etc., then our attention should be squarely focused on economic outcomes for black boys and men, period. Full stop, said Richard Reeves, president of the American Institute for Boys and Men.